What's up, everybody? Mike Lazarecki here, and today is kind of an exciting day. It's exciting because today we get to play with a new camera. We're going to be checking out the ZCam E2 S6, which is ZCam's Super 35 6K variant of their flagship lineup. Now, real quick before we get started on the unboxing, if you are not subscribed already, do me a favor and take a second and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my new videos coming out. I've got a lot of cool stuff planned here. Okay, so did you do it? If you did, awesome. Thank you very much. And if not, hey, maybe next time. Let's hit that intro and then move right into the unboxing. So there it is, the ZCam E2 S6, which is the Super 35 6K variant of their flagship model, as I mentioned earlier. Now, the deal with this is it's a Super 35 sensor. It can shoot in 6K, Cinema 6K, 5K. I mean, there's 2K, 4K, Cinema 4K, all kinds of different frame rates. You can go up to 6K 30, 5K up to 75 frames a second, which is really cool, and a whole bunch of different high frame rate options for 4K as well. So right out of the gate, you could see how minimal this camera is when you take it out of the box. It's literally just the camera body, nothing but a tiny little LCD screen and a box with some connections on the back of it, a battery slot, a lens mount, and the sensor. From that perspective, it does sort of remind me of kind of like a mini Red. It's really a cool modular design, and it gives you the opportunity to just customize it based on the type of cage and rig that you put on it. Now, when I ordered the camera, I ended up opting for the Zacuto E2 Flagship cage, mainly because it was the only one that was in stock on B&H's website at the time, and also because it had airy rosette handles, and I happened to have a wooden rosette handle sitting here from a previous camera build that I hadn't been using, so I knew that that would come in handy with this camera. So once I built up the cage onto the camera, borrowed the top handle from the cage for my Sony a7R III, this thing was pretty well rigged out. Some of the things right off the bat that I got to mention with this is that it is a camera that, stripped down, is not going to be very functional for you. This is not a camera that's going to be good for run and gun stuff in public where you're trying to keep a low key. There's almost no good way that I can see so far that you can strip this down and use it effectively. Part of that is because the only screen that it comes with is that tiny little LCD screen on the top, and I can't imagine that nailing manual focus on that tiny little screen is going to be very effective, if it's even possible at all. Also, there's no integrated handle or grip on this camera, so you're going to need to put it into some kind of rig in order to be able to handle the camera. Otherwise, you're going to be standing around holding the box, and that's not very ergonomically pleasing. Now, straight out of the box, the things that come with the camera are basically the camera body and two cables. That's it. There's not really anything else that comes in the box. There's a D-tap to a LiMo power cable, which is nice in case you decide to try to rig this up with a V-mount battery. And then there's another LiMo to power adapter in case you want to adapt power some other way. The camera comes equipped with a Sony NPF style battery connector on it, which is nice because those batteries are not all that expensive and they're readily available pretty much everywhere. I had tons of them to begin with, so it was nice to be able to use something I already had to test this camera out. But be aware that if you do order this camera and you don't have NPF batteries laying around, especially something bigger like an NPF 970, you're going to want to order batteries at the same time because, once again, this camera does not come with any battery solutions or chargers. So if you order the camera all by itself, you're out of luck. There's no power source in there, so you're going to have to order batteries as well. Something else I noticed as a first impression was the button layout. You have 5 buttons on the side and 5 buttons on the top, along with the record, start, and stop button, so I guess it's 6 buttons on the top. All of these buttons except for the record button are functionally reassignable within the menu system, so there's a lot of customization available there, so that's good. So just based on my first impressions and what I know about the specs, I would say that the closest competitor to this camera would be the Blackmagic Pocket 6K. And that is both on the sensor size, the specs that sensor can record, rough size, and the price. The ZCam E2 S6 comes in at $2,500, and I believe now the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K, at least at the time of recording this video, has been reduced down to $1,900, so that's a pretty killer deal. They both shoot 6K, they both feature a Canon EF mount as far as their lens mount goes, and both are capable of recording to both CFast cards and through a USB-C port to an SSD. One thing the Blackmagic can do that the ZCam cannot is record to a high-speed SD card. That is not an option on the ZCam. So listen, this video is just to unbox and give you guys my first impressions of the camera. I'm excited to get out there and give this camera a try, and keep an eye out for another video coming up real soon where I go in a little bit more in depth as far as my feelings on the camera and its usability. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up and consider subscribing. And let me know in the comments if you guys are interested in the ZCam or if you have any other questions. And I will see you guys next week.